He said that he should be judged by the prices at the grocery stores. Anybody who's been to the grocery store would judge him very badly.
Poilievre addresses caucus this morning, so he's going to poke a little bit of fun at Mark Carney here. Let's hear it.
The Liberals made a lot of really wonderful promises, and we wanted them, the good promises, the ones we agreed with, to succeed. And that's why we collaborated in the spring session to help get things done that we wanted done. Even though they were often too small and too late, we wanted to be a helpful part of the solution. And we want for the country to succeed. And that's why we need to take a very careful look at Mr. Carney's many promises and compare them to the results. Do the words match the deeds? Let's go through them one by one. First, he promised the fastest growing economy in the G7. He's delivered the fastest shrinking economy in the G7, with the second highest unemployment, the worst household debt, and the worst housing prices. That's not what Canadians voted for.
You know, there's a real lesson in this. So when one political party has managed to turn your country into something you don't even recognize anymore, when one radical, progressive, radical leftist party ruins your country's economy over the better part of a decade, when one particular party floods your country with the highest per capita immigration in the world, true mass migration, out of control, reckless, heedless migration for their own purposes, apparently, for the better part of a decade, don't reelect them. Just don't. Don't. I mean, okay, Trudeau was a part-time drama teacher, snowboard instructor, all right, totally unqualified, just an idiot, frankly. Mark Carney had functioned in high-level situations, at least, even if he did badly, as it turns out, when you interrogate his credentials at all. It turns out he performed quite badly in his positions, but, you know, he was more than a drama teacher. Even still, just don't. It's 10 years, same party. It's going to be the same ideology. They're going to do the same things. Just don't vote for them again for a fourth time after a decade of them ruining your country. Anyway, let's continue.
He said that he should be judged by the prices at the grocery stores. Anybody who's been to the grocery store would judge him very badly. In fact, not only have food prices not come down, they are rising faster today than when he took office 6 months ago. He promised to build, baby, build. And ever since, it has been block, baby, block. Let's start with home building. He said he would double home building. And only a few months ago, his own housing agency says home building will fall by 13%. It's already fallen by half in Toronto and the greater GTA, where the homes are most in need of building. Today.
So let me get this straight. After only one single decade of failing at everything and making literally every single thing in the country worse, they're still making it worse? What? That's the last thing we expected. The last thing we expected was the party that had made Canada worse by every single metric for a decade to just keep doing that? Wow. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It's total madness. And you can't forget that since 2020, Mark Carney had been Trudeau's main advisor on the economy. And I think it went beyond the economy as well. I mean, obviously, Trudeau didn't know anything. Obviously, he was leaning heavily on Carney. If you go through just a cursory reading of values, Mark Carney's book, his fingerprints are obviously all over everything that Trudeau did. But anyway, let's continue.
He promised to build nation-building projects at, quote, unimaginable speeds. Well, it's been 6 months. He has not granted a permit for a single new nation-building project. And last week, we saw the display of a prime minister announcing that he was going to refer to a new bureaucracy, a series of 5 projects that had already been approved. Some of them were already under construction. There is a rumor that next week the prime minister will announce that he's considering approving construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway. He promised elbows up. And where did the elbows go from there? The elbows are down.
Yeah, this is all as predicted by myself and pretty much every other conservative commentator. It's all as predicted. Now he's put out. We know what it's about. We know what Carney is about. He wrote his book about it, about forcing the entire world to live by his strict net zero rules, and somehow that was all going to work out great and make everybody wealthy. It's not working out so well. The whole thing has been falling apart. I think that's why Carney wanted to become prime minister, as kind of a last-ditch attempt to save it. He keeps talking about climate competitiveness with who? China, India, the United States? Yeah, they're not interested in playing the game. But yeah, so the five major projects that were already approved and didn't have anything to do with them in the first place. That's just it's just something to throw out right before he starts funneling all of Canada's wealth into subsidizing the carbon capture and the other green boondoggles that can't exist without robbing the Canadian public and then racking up the national credit card before, he leaves office, leaving Canada holding the bag. But anyway, there's that. We got that going for us. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.